Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, here are some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Well, guys, it's been an exciting few weeks. We've had new all-time highs for so many assets, including Bitcoin, which has been just awesome. I feel like every time I picked up my phone last week, CoinGecko was like, "We're hitting 70K, we're hitting 72K." So it has been fun out there. We've also got there's been tons of inflows into the Bitcoin ETF products, lots of positive news across the ecosystem. But as always, I'm here to bring to you today a couple notable tokens. So we'll get started here. So first off, we're actually going to talk about something that didn't do so well, UNIBOT. So UNIBOT, which is a Telegram trading bot interface, announced on Monday that they're going to be separating from the team that built its very popular Solana trading bot product. So UNIBOT initially launched their product on Ethereum mainnet. They actually found a ton of product market fit there. The idea basically being that the user experience for trading in crypto is really difficult, especially on places like Uniswap and SushiSwap, the AMM liquidity, single pool products. They're not, there's no centralized order book. You can't do limit orders. You can't, do kind of all the fancier things that you can do on a centralized exchange. So, and UNIBOT basically offered that ability to do so through Telegram, also with more esoteric off-the-run assets too. So gained a lot of popularity, especially last summer when a lot of people were on-chain trading like meme coins and other assets in that category. So they recently expanded their product to Solana, which was huge because Solana has been kind of like more activity, especially on chain with lower fees. And this had really helped UNIBOT that had been kind of struggling with a lot of other competition on Ethereum. Basically this has been very interesting playing out online. So the UNIBOT core team actually stated that those who built and maintain the Solana version of UNIBOT do not, direct quote, do not represent us and our core values for transparency and security and honesty. So the Solana UNIBOT team rebutted a lot of these claims and actually accused the core team of things like incompetence and negligence, especially around some of the exploits that they had occur. So obviously we don't really know what happened here, but most of the UNIBOT's recent volume is from, as I mentioned, a lot of their recent volume has been from Solana. A lot of their business has been from Solana. So the market is really, not taken so well that UNIBOT is separating from this team, that they're going to be maybe building some other type of product, and that the Solana UNIBOT team is going to be completely different and separated now and doesn't actually have a token representing it. So with that, UNIBOT is actually down 46% in the week. All right, next we'll talk about something a little bit more exciting, Ethereum. So early this morning, Ethereum underwent its latest hard fork upgrade, Denkun. So for those that weren't familiar with this is the most important. This has had a lot of EIPs or Ethereum improvement proposals inside this upgrade. But the most important one was called EIP 4844 or proto-dank sharding, which basically, in a nutshell, is going to lower the cost for layer 2 blockchains to post transaction data to Ethereum. So this was really important because even though L2s already offered a cheaper experience than Ethereum mainnet by quite a bit, the fees were still kind of high. And this is really helpful for a lot of L2s such as Optimism, like I said, since it's going to lower costs. So there's a couple things here that can be really good for these L2s. The first is that the lower fees could spur additional activity. Obviously, always wonderful. The second thing is that in some cases for some of the L2s, because it's lowering costs so much, they can actually choose to take more of a cut in the middle, because even if they the estimates on how much fees are lowered is anywhere from like 20 to 75%. So it's very there's quite a bit of flexibility there. But say a transaction previously cost $1, it gets lowered to 25 cents. Optimism could, in theory, charge like 30 cents for a transaction. You as the consumer are like, wow, I'm getting 70 cents less. And then Optimism is making like 5% or 5 cents on that, that new cost. So again, really interesting for maybe how some of these L2s decide to develop some of their economics and some of their revenue in the future. But the Ethereum upgrade went through without a hitch, at least on the Ethereum side. A lot of the other L2s have made upgrades around this date to make sure that they can be functional with the new EIP. Blast, interestingly, the L2 from the Blur NFT marketplace had some hiccups and ended up pausing for a couple hours as a result. So we'll see how this goes for these L2s in the coming weeks. It should be very powerful for them. Ethereum has not benefited a ton from this. It is only up 2.9% for the week. All right, we're going to talk about MakerDAO, very old DeFi project here, or very legacy DeFi project here. But so MakerDAO, which is the decentralized stable coin issuer, over the weekend, they ended up voting through a bunch of these emergency rate changes on their borrows, basically to help as assets in their peg stability module called the PSM were drained. So the PSM is, as it's kind of the name implies, it's supposed to keep the stablecoin's peg as stable as possible if there's kind of any shocks to the system. Basically, the big shock to the system has just been over the last few weeks, there's been a massive demand for stablecoins and cash with the increased market volatility. So what happened, though, is that the borrow rates on Spark, which is MakerDAO's lending platform, don't really adjust based on demand to the market. They're based on external factors. So their rate ended up being quite a bit cheaper to borrow cash from than other lend borrow protocols such as Aave and Compound. So as a result, a lot of people were able to borrow from Spark really cheaply, and it was kind of threatening assets in the peg stability module and also just the DAI supply overall. So in response, Maker ended up increasing the DAI savings rate, DSR, which from 5% to 15%. So instead of getting rid of that cash, people are going to be hodling it, I guess. And then they also increased a lot of the borrow rates for new loans, which were all around, depending on what asset you're depositing into a vault, about 6% up to over 15%. So quite a change to those rates there. And then in addition, finally, Maker also announced yesterday on a governance forum post that the phase 1 of their end game, which is a 5-phase roadmap for a major update to the MakerDAO, designed to enhance efficiency, resilience, and participation, is going to begin this summer. So big news, since Endgame has been in the works for about a year and a half, and folks are excited to see what's next for them. The token is up 38% this week. All right, last up, we're going to talk about Telegram and Toncoin. So earlier this week, messaging app Telegram announced it had 900 million monthly active users. That's, yes, monthly active, not daily active. That's every month. Are we surprised? I hope not. And it's potentially going to be eyeing an IPO later this year. So according to their CEO, Pavel Durov, since introducing their premium subscription and advertisements in the last year, the company actually has managed to generate hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. Obviously, no actual figures were given. Hundreds of millions, probably not bad. So although Toncoin, which was initially created through Telegram in the famous 2018 ICO, it's not directly related to Telegram's success. It is basically the layer 1 blockchain related to Telegram. A lot are speculating that some of the new games and app launches that have, that are going to happen through Telegram are instantly going to have massive distribution, which is just unlike any other L1 pipeline. Like already having like 900 million users is insane, but immediately having those eyeballs or even a fraction of them, it's much more than most L1 blockchains can garner on their own. So this is, huge distribution for them if they can, get these things off the ground. So the news also follows another announcement from 2 weeks ago that Telegram is going to share 50% of its ad revenue with token holders via distributing more TON tokens. So TON is up 64% just this week, and it's up 73% since this initial announcement. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.